Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to On Texas Football, and welcome back to the Winning Drive, the primetime edition. I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers, pleased to be joined by fellow Lifetime Longhorn, the young prodigy CJ Vogel. Thank you guys for joining us. Coach is going to be out tonight, but he'll be back. Everything's all good. He'll be back with us coming up Thursday, which will be me and CJ tonight. So throw it out there. Whatever you guys want to talk about, questions, comments, we'll try to address as many of them as we can. Super chats always jump to the front of the line. You can interrupt the show at any time. Also, you have our sponsors. Shout out to Von Lane. Shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks as well. Shout out to our friends at Hardgrove Roofing. We'll tell you more about them coming up a little bit later on. Before we talk football, which is predominantly what we do here, we got to give a shout out, CJ, to Texas softball and Texas baseball, both showing up, both moving on in the postseason.
Yeah, man, what a weekend on the diamond. And we'll start with softball. Look, today was fantastic for Mike White and his group. First, Gutierrez and Cavan, fantastic. Only one earned run combined through 14 innings pitched against a team that had only been shut out twice the entire season. And, Rod, what I've really admired about this team over the last 2 years is when their back is against the wall, they don't lose. And I'm knocking on wood right now, but last year they had to win 2 straight to get out of their regional or the super regional, and then obviously this year to beat Arizona State after falling game 1 in the super. You lose game 1 to Tennessee and you rattle off 4 straight. They're 6-0 right now when facing elimination. And when you watch them today, you kind of wonder, wow, will they lose? Right? Will they lose again? And, when the sticks are hot, like we saw with Katie Stewart, Reese Atwood, the bottom of the order started getting guys on base. That was fantastic softball today. We had a great time. Shout out Jedi Master Bevo in the chat. We had a great time in the chat on Texas Football for folks following along in the game thread. But they're headed back to the National Championship Series. They will face the winner of Alabama and Texas Tech right now. Texas Tech has to win 2 games tonight, just the same way that Texas had to overcome a game deficit against Tennessee. It is 2-1 Texas Tech over Alabama, top of the 4th. Again, Tech needs to win 2 games tonight to do exactly this. But over to the diamond, Texas baseball. Moving on to the super regionals, they will host Oregon. For the first time ever, Texas and Oregon will face off on the diamond. They will host a best of 3, most likely starting on Friday, a Friday to Sunday series, but there is a chance it is Saturday to Monday. We will see after tonight, Texas A&M and USC will be the final regional decided. But how about this, Rod? Because baseball's a funky sport, right? You just don't know what you'll get on a given day. We saw UCLA get eliminated, the number 1 national seed on Sunday. Gone, toast, off to Cancun. Number 2 seed, Georgia Tech, just got walked off by Oklahoma. They're done. So the number 1 and number 2 seeds nationally already out. They don't make it out of their regionals. Wow. So a lot going on right now in baseball. And as I say this, it looks like Alabama just tied the game up 2-2 on a solo home run. So a lot going on. We'll keep you updated. But congratulations to Jim Schlossnagle and Mike White for continuing to win on the diamond.
No, I mean, it's some really great stories. And so Oklahoma's on Texas side of the bracket, right? For Texas baseball, right?
Yeah.
That's a good sign right there. But Texas versus Oregon, that's going to be fun for Texas baseball fans coming up in the super regional. But going back to softball, we got to get to this story because the story went viral and it is a wild one because Holly Rowe essentially reported, and it is fact. She said, I fact checked. I went back and asked multiple sources to make sure it's real. And then recently there's also been some video of Hannah Wells herself admitting to this, that one of her superstitions is that when she encounters a ladybug of any kind, she devours that ladybug. She eats it whole. Boom. She takes the luck of the ladybug, which everybody's known. Ladybugs are known for their luck. I guess sometime in her childhood, I don't know who told her this, or she decided, and maybe it was a smart move by her because she's doing pretty well for herself, that she could somehow, by ingesting the ladybug, literally, she could somehow take the luck for herself and apply it to, I'm assuming, just her softball career. Maybe this is all walks of life, but that is a real story. I have not heard of a stranger superstition in the history of sports. Honestly, that takes the cake. The secret, the favorite underwear, the lucky underwear, whatever. I don't know. You give me another superstition in sports across any sport, I would challenge you that Hannah Wells' ladybug ingestion is weirder than any other superstition, maybe in the history of sports.
It's got to be up there.
It's up there.
I was sitting on the couch earlier today watching and hearing. I love Holly Rowe, so that was. I mean, when I hear that, I'm like, of course, Holly Rowe found that one. But it made me think. You know, what are some of the weirder superstitions about eating? I mean, we've seen coaches eat grass, right? You know, it was Jimbo or Les Miles. One of the two was eating grass all the time. Paul Pierce, how about this one? 55 minutes, exactly 55 minutes before taking the court, he would have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before every single game that he played in the NBA.
Wow.
Okay. Wade Boggs, the former Red Sox legend, he would eat chicken before every single game.
That one. Yes, I've heard the fried chicken one. I've heard that one, yeah.
And he would take batting practice at exactly 5:17 for games that were, you know, first pitch was at the same time. So, you know, there's some odd Marshawn Lynch and the Skittles. The Skittles. That, I mean, that's food. You're eating food. I'm just imagining, you know, those little mini M&M bottles you used to get for like Easter or Halloween or something like that. You just pop them open, you get like, I don't know, 30 little M&Ms. I'm just imagining a little drawer like that. Hannah Wells, just if she finds one, that's what, just pop it in.
Just pop it in. Yeah. I mean, do you imagine the first time her friends saw her do this, like in front of them, and they were like, "What? What did you just ingest a ladybug like that?" And I guess
no flinch.
Yeah, so it's not toxic. I mean, I was worried like maybe it's just some toxicity with it. Nope, obviously not. She's doing well. It's been going on for a long time. So
credit to her because she had a massive double or single today that drove in 2 in game 1. But that was not what I was expecting to hear on the broadcast today, Rod. No doubt.
Bro, like I said, I was speechless. I was flabbergasted hearing that. I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that. It's quirky and weird, but also is a bit disturbing. Like so it also is like it's got a competitive edge to it. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just it's weird and quirky, but also it makes you afraid of that person in a competitive field. I wouldn't want to face off with them. They got right. That's also why I think it's I don't know, maybe it's psyche. It's all about the mental game to it. But
I mean, you see a ladybug, you have it crawl on your finger, like, oh, look how cute, beautiful life, and then you see the monster come over, snatch.
It's like, oh, gosh. I now need the background on this, though. I do need some more investigative research to find out what, like, did somebody tell her about this? Did she just, as a little girl, decide, no, I want all ladybugs' luck, and I'm gonna steal it from them by eating them? I want to know where she got it from, but good for her. That was definitely the kind of viral clip of the day from the softball games. All right, let's get to, we got my man Stevie coming up. We'll get to him in a second, but let's first thank our sponsors. Let's give some love to our friends over at Vaughn Lane. We appreciate our friends at Vaughn Lane, and you will as well. They do a great job, folks. We appreciate them. They will get you from point A to point B, but they will do it in a luxurious, first-class manner. And I know a lot of you out there, you're still flying these shorter routes in between major Texas cities, or you're driving yourself. Both of those options can be very stressful. We know these days, TSA, security lines, delayed flights, the airport can be a nightmare, right? Unless you have to do it. And driving yourself, well, that can be stressful too, dealing with traffic and then dealing with road rage of other individuals. And you arrive there and you're all jet lagged and tired. You don't want to worry about that. Our friends over at Vaughn Lane, they do a great job of getting you from point A to point B, like I said, but doing it in a first-class manner. Love the folks over at Vaughn Lane. I've taken the Vaughn Lane myself several times to Houston, to DFW, for business and for personal reasons, to visit family, and each and every time, I think it's getting better and better. Recently, they upgraded their entire fleet with Starlink internet, so now the Wi-Fi is faster and more reliable. You can just, no delayed flights. You don't have to worry about waiting in a security line. No, you arrive at a private hotel terminal. You can lay back and settle into one of just 22 oversized leather seats. You enjoy complimentary Wi-Fi, beverages, hot towel service, snacks, and even got complimentary meals on certain departures as well. Bun Lane serves Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands as well, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, Knoxville. And if you're traveling with the team, you can charter your own Bun Lane coach and design the trip from pickup to drop off. And also right now is a great time. Visit vonlane.com. And if it's your first time riding, you can enter the code OTF26 at checkout to receive $20 off your first ride with Von Lane. That's Von Lane, your private jet on wheels. Also, if you're traveling for Texas football games from Houston or Dallas, our friends over at Von Lane, they can get you there. So instead of thinking about driving yourself or thinking about, like I said, obviously flying those shorter routes, think about the Von Lane, folks. Von Lane, VONLANE.com. All right. Thank you very much to our friends at Von Lane. And also thank you, Stevie, for joining us each and every Monday. My man, Stevie Lee, joins us courtesy of our friends over at Hargrove Roofing. So we appreciate them and appreciate Stevie. Stevie, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. How you?
I'm doing good, man. I don't know if you heard or not, but we recently were talking about Hannah Wells, who is the fantastic softball player for Texas softball, who's I guess her superstition is that she will ingest ladybugs. Like she will swallow and eat ladybugs. That's part of her superstition. Have you heard of a superstition stranger than that?
No, man. No, that's I'm speechless right now, man.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. But man, those baseball players got some wild superstitions though. Baseball and softball. So that surprised me, but not really. Yeah. I don't know.
That's wild.
Hey, is it working? Is it working though?
Yes. Yeah, it's working. Right. She's balling. Whether it's all up here or not, it's working for her. Ain't no doubt about that.
Okay. All right. So we need to deliver some ladybugs over to her then. For sure. Courtesy of All Texas Football and Hargrove.
Yeah. You're right. Baseball players, softball players are like very strange superstition, right? Don't step on the white line, 2 taps on the plate, right sock on first. I've never heard something like this. Now, this is a little extreme to me. Stevie, do you have any teammates? Were you a superstitious guy?
I was not a superstitious guy, but I had one guy in high school. I think it was Chase Beasley, and he would locker next to Byron Dawson, who was a defensive tackle at LSU. And that we went to high school together, but he locker next to him. But his superstition was he would never wash his practice pants.
Oh,
right.
That's
so foul. And it got so bad that, I said Byron Dawson to say it got so bad that one day we used to have these big hooks to put our laundry on. So Byron picked up his pants off of his hook and put it on his hook and washed it for him. And he was pissed. It was almost a fight in the locker room the next day. So that's a nasty, nasty superstition right there, man. The pants was almost black towards the end of the season.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that's nasty because you know how them things can smell, man. We've all been there in the locker room. No, man, that funk will knock you right out. That'll knock you right out. Hey, I'm asking this because this is something I want to get into. I'm glad we got both you and CJ here to talk about it. The Hall of Fame, the College Football Hall of Fame, had put out their list of possible candidates for 2027, I believe it is. And 2 Longhorns were listed. Casey Hampton, legendary lifetime Longhorns, Casey Hampton and Colt McCoy. If you could only choose one, because they're not gonna put 2 Longhorns on the ballot. I mean, as a finalist, both of those guys will make the Hall of Fame. Both of them are deserving. But this year, they're only gonna probably get one of those guys. I think they don't have a set number. It's usually between 18 to 20. If you could only choose one, Stevie, legendary lifetime Longhorn Casey Hampton or Colt McCoy, who gets in this year?
I don't understand why you're asking me this question.
Oh, so it ain't even a debate then. Not
even a debate, man. I love you, Colt McCoy, but Casey Hampton, man, come on, man. He started the basically accountability era of the Texas defense. You know what I'm saying? So you know how we ran the defense. You know what I'm saying? Not we, but we ran the defense ran our own defense. So you know what I'm saying? So we policed ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm trying to be politically correct here. And Casey, for me, taught me that as a freshman coming in, and Casey was my big brother, which was and I told him this at the funeral we went to at Coach Tolley's funeral. He was the worst big brother to ever have.
Why is that?
Because, you know, okay, so as a big brother, you're supposed to take the little brother under your wing and make him feel comfortable and make sure that he has everything that he needs and things like that. But Casey would talk about you so bad that you would want to go home. So,
that's right.
That's true. But it was all love. It was all love the way he talked about you. And I remember the first day that I met him, not the first day I met him, but when I came in January and we had our first meeting and he looked at me, he said, "How much you weigh?" And I was like, "I'm right under 300," and ended up being a 288. I was at 288. And he said, "You gonna play?" He said, "I don't care what you do, you're gonna play." Because he played that junior year and he said he was tired of being on the field the whole time. He was tired of being on the field the whole time, and it wasn't you gonna play because you good. It's you gonna play because I'm tired of taking all these snaps. You know,
I love that Casey had so much clout. He was making roster decisions back then.
Yeah, making roster, and before I broke my foot, when he tapped his helmet, Tolley looked back at me, and I strolled in as a true freshman, and he would come off the field, and I backed up Casey Hampton as a true freshman, and Marcus Tubbs backed up Sean Rogers. He was a sophomore freshman at that time. I think he was a sophomore. Then I ended up breaking my fifth metatarsal, and I had to wipe that whole season out when we came back from the Stanford game. Remember, we went up to Stanford and lost. Yeah, but I played those first 2 or 3 games and then got my medical red shirt after that. But Casey Hampton, look up to him. He not only was a good football player, he set the culture, which took off for a long time at the University of Texas. But by being a leader and policing the team. Like I remember I think we lost that OU game that year, and we had that team meeting.
Yep.
And after I was red shirt, so I was just sitting on crutches. I had just had surgery, and after the coaches came in and we talked after that game, you know, we had the team meeting the next day on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And Casey said, "All right, I need the coaches to leave. All the coaches out." And we had a players only meeting, and that was my first time seeing a leader like that. All right, bye coaches. We need to talk about this. And you remember what was said in that meeting. I'm not going to tell everybody else what was said in that meeting, but it was get your SHIT together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because Coach Brown was taking all the flack, and one of the things I can tell you, one of the things he said is Coach Brown didn't step a foot on the field. We did, and that's why we lost the game. So leadership like that, it did not only help the team then, but it helped the team for years to come because players, he was the leader and taught us how to lead as we got older in our careers.
That honestly, 2 stories to back up everything Stevie's talking about. And number one, I don't know why it's taking this long for Casey to get in. That's probably the number one case. Like he's way overdue. In that case for this Hall of Fame. I'm sure he's in another because I think he's on the Steelers all-time team. The Steelers all-time team. Yeah. This is college. I get that. 2 things though. I remember Mac Brown going back to that Oklahoma game you talked about. He said he was talking to the late great Darryl K. Royal and about that Texas OU game. And that was one of the most embarrassing moments of my career. I know the same thing for you, Stevie. Anybody that was on that roster, on that team because of that game and what it meant, getting blown out by that Oklahoma team, even though they won a national title in 2000, was one of the most embarrassing moments in your football career. It had to be, and it was for all of us. We shared that together, and Mac lit into everybody after that game too. Like Mac was upset. That was one of the times we kind of saw Mac actually get upset and genuinely kind of lose it on the team because he was under a lot of pressure and got blown out by a Texas rival. And Max said he told Derrick Henry that everybody played bad in that game. Not one player played well. And he said D. Carroll told him to go back and watch the tape. Go back and watch the film. He said, you did have one player that balled out in that game. And he was like, it was Casey Hampton. He said, D. Carroll told him that. He said, it was Casey. Go back and watch Casey. And he said he went back and watched Casey, and he realized, I owe at least one man an apology. Because he played his butt off and played well.
Yeah.
Your report about Casey starting the accountability era on defense at Texas. And I remember as a young player giving up like a third down on a drive during the game. And having the coach come over to you and talk to you, it's all good. Get on you about, hey, your technique, your fundamentals. Hey, be situationally aware, this, and this. And having some of your teammates kind of pick you up, whatever. But when you would see Casey get off the D-line bench and look down at you, and he give you a couple of glances, he's waiting on like Coach Tolley or whatever to get done talking about what they're talking about. And then he come down there, he get off the bench and come walk down there. Robbie. I'm like, oh no. He's like, what's up, Case? What happened on that third down? What happened on that third down? To your point, he didn't want to be on the field any longer than he needed to be.
Yeah.
He wanted to know why he was on the field for 7-8 more plays, because he thought that third and long that Rod B gave up that dig route, that's supposed to be it. Why you give that third down, bro? That was third and long. And he came down and wanted to know the coverage. He wanted to know what I was like, yeah, I had bad technique. I had bad leverage. I had outside leverage. Should have inside leverage. He's like, all right. He's like, clean it up. Yeah. I almost said yes, sir, but I was like, yes, yeah. So okay, that's the aura, that's the presence he had out there. Because he always, the guy at D tackle, guys, I've never heard anything like this before. So please let me know if you heard anything like it. Maybe Aaron Donald did something like this. He led Texas in tackles, guys. He led us in tackles 2 years in a row. Think about that. In 99, 2000, Texas D tackle led them in tackle. Freakiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
So wow. I'm gonna side with Stevie on that one. Even though Colt obviously has more skins on the wall and probably has more accolades and more impact in terms of the modern brand and recognition that Texas has these days. To Stevie's point, though, behind the scenes, man, big ham.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you got to do when you have these Hall of Fames and all of these accolades and things like that. You need to ask their teammates, because those are the guys that know the real person. The writers, they do what they do, but the teammates know the real person, and the teammates will let you know if this person's an asshole too. So they don't need to be on there, but you need to be asking. And I know the voters vote, but the voters need to go out there and kind of, feel around and see what kind of teammate that person was too. So, and no disrespect to Colt McCoy, he's going to get his. He's done a whole lot with turning Texas into a long-time powerhouse by taking on, picking up the ball and taking it up to another level. He only got hurt in the Alabama game in the national championship. I think every Texas person in here believes that we would have won that game if Colt McCoy would have stayed in. And Colt's great, but right now the flowers should go to Hampton. He just was my big brother. I can see the culture of Texas football change when he was here. So that's on me. That's my vote.
No, it's always fun hearing these stories, obviously, because I wasn't a part of this, right? I watched years later. But it makes me wonder, when it comes to these defenses that we're seeing now, like who would have been or who's going to be that level guy for you this year, right? And I think the hope is, and Stevie, Rod, give me y'all's input too. The hope is that the Colin Simmons that you saw in the Citrus Bowl and the way that he spoke to the media after that game saying, hey, a lot of guys opted out, a lot of guys that were captains of this defense, they're no longer here. It's on me to now step up. I know what I mean to this university. I know what I mean to this team. The self-awareness is there. Now does he carry that over to each and every Saturday? He's now the voice. He's now the guy looking down the sideline saying, hey, you better figure that out on third down so we can get off the field and go score some points. So that's my hope. I don't know if y'all have another guy that comes to mind, but with the way that we saw Colin kind of command the room in Orlando, I think that would be a massive step forward for him as a leader and a person on this team, because we obviously know the talent as well.
I'm going to agree with you. When you were about to ask the question, that's his name, first one that came to mind. He can, like Coach said once before, he can do anything he want to do in practice. He can disrupt practice, but he's letting everybody else get reps. Yeah. So he's definitely one of those guys that's going to step up, and it's not just him; it's bringing the whole team along. So you're spot on with that one. I don't know about you, Rod.
I remember when Sark told that story. Strangely enough, I swear I came on these airwaves and brought up Casey Hampton when he told the story about, that guy can do whatever he wants in practice. We basically can't stop him in practice. And Goosby's got a shot, but when he wants to take it over, he takes it over. I remember Mac taking Casey Hampton. It's kind of a Casey Hampton and Sean Rodgers together, taking them out of practice because we got to get some work done. This guy just blowing up all the plays. We ain't getting no short yardage work done. We ain't getting no run game work done in the interior. We got to take him out and then let him coach from the sideline, and we'll get the work done at practice. He was that good. Yeah. And then went to the NFL, and it was that damn good. Yeah. All right, Steve, we won't keep you for too much longer. I got one other thing I want to ask you about, and appreciate you joining us too. Let me ask you about this trade that happened in the league real quick, man. This Myles Garrett. You hear about the Myles Garrett trade?
I glanced at it, man. I've been working all day. It happened today. Okay. It came up on my watch. So what? Tell me about it. What happened?
Well, Myles Garrett got traded to the Rams.
To the
Rams. The
Rams.
Myles Garrett got traded to the Rams for Jared Verse and some picks, pretty much. I'm not going to keep it up too much, but yeah. So
I don't know what's going on with that, man. I think they're trying to pull. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me think about that. Let's talk about it next week.
No. The only reason I brought it up is because it did kind of remind me of the reason I made the connection to Colin Simmons is because of this. Because a lot of people believe that Myles Garrett about to have even more pass rush opportunities with the Rams than he had with the Browns, because the Browns, bad team, never really had leads in games. All right. He had to be more of a run stopper, even though he's an elite pass rusher, of a run stopper. Could you see, because that's basically what the theory is that he's going to have more pass rush snaps. You give it the best pass rusher in the NFL more pass rush snaps, going to get more pass rush productivity. Same thing with Colin Simmons. The reason I bring it up, I'm not just bringing up stuff for the hell of it. Will he have more pass rush opportunities? You got a better offense, may get you a lead. How many times did you get a lead last year in the second half and the fourth quarter to play with? How many times, CJ? Oklahoma, Vandy, Arkansas. Something like that. I mean, it wasn't many. And I don't know if you're going to have many this season either. I'm talking about against Power 5 teams. I know you against the cupcakes, non-power teams. I get it. You had a big lead. You should. I was looking at the power teams. But theoretically, Colin Simmons should also benefit from some of the same factors and reasons that people are theorizing that Myles Garrett is going to have a blockbuster year at the Rams. Better team, better offense, play with the lead more. You play with the lead more. The opponent has more pressure, desperation to throw the football, more pass rushing opportunities. Also, scheme-wise, who knows if it's different? I haven't really studied that. But I do know Muschamp scheme is not, shout out to my man Jeff Howe, not going to have Colin Simmons dropping back into coverage as much, especially on third downs and pass rushing downs, to the tune of 160? Is it 160 snaps, something like that?
Yeah, 140 over 2 years.
Or just 140 the last couple of years. But that's why I thought about it, because I also think Colin Simmons is also going to get a bump this year from the weapons around him, the team around him, and also a new strategy around him too. That's why I brought it up.
And the other thing about Colin is I like that he's spoken out loud that he wants the sack record, right? So I do like that. But I see where you're going with that. I like it. I like that. Myles Miles is looking for a monster year, man. That's awesome, but I mean,
it's crazy.
But the Browns, what are they doing up there in their front office, dude?
That's the Browns.
This is my last point I want to make before I let you go. The tank for Arch. This is also connected to Arch. Now you got teams who got multiple first-round picks. So the Browns got 2. Jets, I believe, have 3.
Oh, God. And
there will be a tanking marathon for Arch, and those teams are now toward the top. Throwing that out there. So anytime you see a big trade like this and a team that you know is going to be bad, the Browns are always bad. But then Arch name will come up.
The Browns, the Jets are in the conversation. They always will be in the conversation for the first overall pick. There's a team leading the race right now, and it's the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh,
contract dispute with Jacoby Brissett. There's not a team lower on the pecking order in the NFL than the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, so what we got?
I'd rather play in Arizona than in New York. So
I think Arch would too. Better golfing out there.
Miami is another team, though, that also could be really bad next year. That would suck for Quinn. Get Arch coming right behind you again. I hope that's not the case. All right, Stevie, thank you, brother, for sticking around. We appreciate you having a good time with us, and tell that lovely family of yours we said hi.
I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna go have a drink and then look into this trade. See what I'm gonna dig deeper into it, man. I appreciate you bringing it up.
Hey, it ain't the only one, dude. AJ Brown got traded to the Patriots.
I saw that too. That came across my my timeline as well, man. Yeah. So
busy day in the league, man.
Let me dig into it a little bit. I was surprised you didn't talk about them San Antonio Spurs today.
Hey, we talked about them yesterday, but next time.
Yeah, gotcha, man.
All right,
man. Hardgrove Roofing, holla at us.
Hardgrove Roofing, thank you to our friends at Hardgrove Roofing for sponsoring our segment with Stevie Lee. They offices all over Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. They are the most pro burnt orange roofing company out there. 512-645-3202. They're offering a free roof inspection today. So if you have any concerns or questions about your roof, leave it to the professionals at Hardgrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof with Hardgrove Roofing at hardgroveroofing.com. All right, super chats. Let's hit those, and then we'll dive into some other topics. Nathan Lee, 5036 says, spot the ball at Texas Tech. Spot the ball. Hey, listen, do we know the score update on Alabama Tech yet for softball? This is I'm rooting for Tech, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I'm rooting for Tech. I want Texas to play Tech. This is what I want to happen. I want Texas to play Tech, and I want Sark and Cody Campbell and Coach McGuire to go to the game to support their team. Not being trashy, just there to support my team.
It'll never happen, but imagine if they were the ones, the honorary captains to walk out and exchange the lineup card.
Oh, see? Let's do it. Do it.
Just give me all the drama. But it is top of the fifth right now. It's 2-2. So a long way to go. I can't tell. Both teams are still wearing basically. Alabama's up to bat right now. A girl just got drilled in the head, so I hope she's okay. But also wanted to update. Troy's now up 10-2 on a win or go home elimination game with number 8 Florida. So something to keep in mind as we start looking ahead to Supers next week.
Yeah, I will say, man, like I said, softball is having a moment, and it's all because of the drama. Texas Tech is kind of the villain, but the ratings have been unbelievable so far. And I think Texas versus Tennessee, it was the 4th most watched opening Thursday on record. They had like 1.2 million viewers. Texas had the most watched regular season game and the 2nd most watched regular season game of the season. 2nd most watched SEC title game ever. And the most watched regional games was Texas versus Baylor and Texas versus Wisconsin. So Texas has been one of the kind of stars of defending champions, but the stars of this postseason so far. And Tech has been they've been a villain. Villains create storylines. They create conflict mostly, and conflict creates storylines. But that's kind of the part of the formula. And I think Texas versus Texas Tech, with all the drama they've had, you might get a record. I don't know what the ratings.
I think you would. And well, think about it too. It would be a rematch of last year's national championship. So in the softball world, it's already a big deal.
Sorry.
To the outside world, and you get that college football bump too.
It'd be a great way for Stark to respond in a classy way. He can just go there and just support his team, and then people would do the work for him.
Off the ball.
They did the work for him. Oh yeah, they did the work for him. Anyway, let's get back to the super chats. Thank you for that, Nate. Tanner Frazier says, "What's up, guys? Off topic, but I got to know. Jerry thinks the Thunder are the best run organization in the league. Yeah, CJ Live tweets how much the Thunder have ruined the NBA. Right? Yes. What say you? Love the show. Oh, this is randomly a good topic. All right, go, because I can relate this back to college football. You go, CJ, and I'm gonna spin it back to college football. I'm gonna do my thing. I
agree with you. I think the Thunder and the Celtics are the two teams with the front office that are most in tune. They don't make as many errors as other front offices. They don't get tied to bad contracts. They do a fantastic job of flipping picks, acquiring assets, and then making big-time moves to get splash players while making sure that their future is not depleted. That is undeniable. Look at how many picks and assets the Thunder still have, despite 3 borderline All-NBA players and a team that probably should have gone back-to-back this year. My issue was the play style, right? SGA, the flopping, Lou Dort, the hard fouling, Caruso. Here's the deal with Oklahoma City, and it's not just one guy, right? My issue is at any point you could watch Jared McCain, you could watch Jalen Williams, you could watch the other Jalen Williams, you could watch Chet Holmgren, AJ Mitchell. There is just an innate amount of flopping with all of these guys that you make it looks like it's organizational. Right? You don't have the one James Harden on a Houston team that it's just ruining the game for everybody. You can take the ball out of his hands and play that level of basketball with 9 of the 10 other guys on the court. With the Thunder, it is the insistent amount of looking to draw fouls and just playing basketball in a way that is, 1, not aesthetically pleasing, but 2, unethical in an instance. I mean, it's disgusting to watch. So look, I'm a Mavs fan, so I don't like the Thunder. I don't like the Spurs, but I see one team that plays very hard together and plays without having to stretch the rules, break the rules, bend the rules, find ways to cheat the game to advance. And so that's what I was watching. That's what I was rooting for. I think Wemby embellishes as well to an extent. But this has been the entire persona and identity of the Oklahoma City Thunder for multiple years now, and it's disgusting. I think it ruins the game of basketball, and I love the NBA. I know a lot of folks hate it. I know that a lot of folks are tired of the way that the game is being played. If you figured out the way that the Thunder played in the postseason, folks would love the NBA. Are you kidding me? The amount of talent there on both teams, if you just took out the nastiness of the foul baiting and the looking at the refs and you would look at that series with the 2 best teams in the league and say, that was beautiful, right? In those games where physicality was allowed, it was unbelievable basketball. But there were too many games, too many moments where you looked there and you said, we're calling that? Really? So that's my issue.
It's a good argument. I think oftentimes you'll get that. I remember when Seattle, the old Legion of Boom Seattle Seahawks, were on their run, and one of the big complaints was they were pass interference. Like they would push the envelope on pass interference. Essentially, what they believed, they wouldn't admit it, was that there's no way a ref is going to call it 2, 3, 4 plays in a row. You ain't going to call it all game. So you can call it once, but you ain't going to call it all game. And I'll win out by just being physical enough.
I think Brandon Browner said that. He was like, hey, make him call it every time.
Yeah, and it worked for the Legion of Boom too. So I kind of feel like that's kind of one of the football equivalents of it, is that, it is pushing the envelope and it is dirty, but it's a way they've almost hacked the officiating.
Yeah,
it's a way for them to kind of hack the officiating a little bit. And trust me, I was a Rockets fan, so I am a Rockets fan. But I remember James Harden in his day, he found a way to hack officiating. So I think but what I do like about it is that they got their own little recipe going on at OKC. We're going to talk about them being the best well-run organization in the NBA. That's a different conversation. But what I like about this NBA, the current one that we're watching right now, kind of the post-LeBron, post-Steph era of the NBA is what we're recognizing. I know we're not officially in it yet, but you've had 8 different teams in the last 4 NBA finals for the first time. Yeah. The NBA used to be a true aristocracy where only the elite.
If you had the best player, you were penciled in to the finals
every time. And then college football had some of this, and still I think has some of it, no doubt. But it seems to be some of the changes have almost in an unpredictable way brought in some more parity in college football. Look at the Big Ten catching up with the SEC. You've had 8 different teams in the college football playoff college football title game in the last 4 years. So nobody expected Indiana. Maybe that TCU run they made a couple of years ago, that was an unlikely run for a team.
Yeah.
Washington seemed a little bit unlikely because they didn't have a ton of elite talent. So it seems like some of the changes, I don't know if it's going to continue that way, but have allowed for a little bit more parry than we were accustomed to. Also, Nick Saban retiring, I think is a big part of it too. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's why I tie it to the NBA a little bit. Both sports have been known for being aristocracies, basically.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to see just a little more variety than you've seen recently.
Which is good, right? Yeah. It's all about the buy-in. It's all about the hype. And I'm sure these leagues and conferences are sitting there saying, hey, as many teams as we can have believing at the beginning of the season that they have a chance to play for something bigger than just a bowl game in middle of December, it's fantastic. It will draw ratings. It will increase prices. It will increase views, which in turn is more money for these conferences and programs. So that's fantastic. And I look at Arizona State, it's another one, right? With Scadaboo and Levitt, the way that they constructed that team with a bunch of misfits coming from JUCO and D2s and guys that were passed over from UCLA and USC and Texas and Tech and et cetera. So, it's really interesting. It's going to be even more interesting probably in 3 or 4 years, Rod, when all of this kind of mellows, right? Fingers crossed we find some sort of solution for all of this. And we say, okay, what consistently worked with all these teams, the teams that are kind of surprises that made runs, the TCUs, the Washingtons, what actually worked? And, the teams that are quick to adapt, they're going to be best equipped moving forward.
Yeah. And that's why also I can make the comparison to the NBA and to college football with all the changes. You're starting to see all these little kind of laboratories and experiments with the CBA, the new CBA in the NBA, right? Because you can't build the super teams like you used to because they're the luxury tax in the second apron. It's extremely punitive for teams who want to just stockpile max contracts. So you can't do that anymore like you used to. So you got to be a little bit more creative about how you build and construct the roster. Same thing in college football now, right? With a supposed salary cap with NIL and rev share and the transfer portal. Got to be really creative. And you start to see Tech's got their own model that they're working with, right? And Texas got their own model that they're working with, and all these different schools, because you got to work with whatever your limitations are and whatever your resources are. So it's fascinating. Like you said, we'll look back in 10 years and go, so what worked during that time? What has consistently been the factors that have helped? Like Indiana, their own model, right? They got older players out of the portal, that kind of thing. So it's been fascinating so far. All right, let's before we get to a couple of more questions, before we get to end of tonight's live stream, let's thank a couple of more sponsors. Let's thank our friends at Prize Picks. We appreciate our friends at Prize Picks, folks. And you're not picking with Prize Picks, you're doing yourself a disservice. I can tell you that right now. Prize Picks is fantastic, folks. And now a brand new month, so it's a way for you to start clean, start new slate. Basketball playoffs red hot, got baseball in full swing, lots of sports action going on, lots of ways for you to pick and pick successfully, all right, and cash in over at Prize Picks. Now, every possession matters, every at bat matters. You're locked in from start to finish, and you're not just watching anymore. You've got juice in it, and the best part is it's really, really easy. It's really, really simple. You can pick more or less on player stats, build your lineup, submit it, and that's it. It takes minutes. It takes seconds if you actually really know what you're doing, and you can be quick about it. Or how about this? You also can mix and match across different sports. One of my favorite parts of picking with Prize Picks. Go with your favorite player on your favorite team, whoever that is. All right. And you can mix and match that across basketball or baseball, hockey, golf, whatever you're into. And that's what I love about my friends over at Prize Picks. So today, how about this one? We're going to go with Ty Madden, former lifetime Longhorn, Ty Madden, to have more than 2.5 strikeouts. He's averaging 3 over his last 5 and has 12 total in the last 2 outings. Also, we're going to take Chase Burns to have more than 5.5 strikeouts. Burns averages over 6.5 going back to the 1st of May. We're trusting our gut, and that's exactly what you can do. Just trust your gut, make your picks, lock it in. Prospects available in all 50 states, including right here in the great state of Texas. So if you haven't jumped in yet, now's the perfect time. Download the app, use the code HMA, play $5, and they'll give you $50 in lineups instantly. The code is HMA. 5 gets you 50. It's just that simple. And as always, play smart, play responsibly, play Prize Picks. Let's also thank our friends at Von Lane one more time. We appreciate our friends at Von Lane. They do a great job of getting you from point A to point B, but doing it in a first-class manner. They got first-class service, folks. They got snacks, beverages, hot towel service on every trip, complimentary Wi-Fi, which, by the way, has been upgraded to Starlink internet. So now the Wi-Fi is faster and more reliable. You don't have to worry about TSA or security lines. You don't have to worry about delayed flights. No, you can board in minutes at a private hotel terminal. You settle into one of just 22 oversized leather seats, and you let my friends over at Von Lane take care of the rest. Now, if you're traveling from Houston or Dallas or San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands, many of the great locations that are already on the Von Lane website. They also serve Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, and Knoxville. So you can go check out vonlane.com and find out all the locations that they serve. If you're traveling with a group, you can charter your own Von Lane coach and design the trip from pick up to drop off. That's vonlane.com. Enter the code OTF26 at checkout to receive $20 off your first ride with Von Lane. That's Von Lane, your private jet on wheels. Thank you very much to our friends at Von Lane. And don't forget, this football season, you're traveling from Houston or Dallas, come in for game days. Von Lane is a great way to travel, folks. I've done it myself several times for Houston to Dallas. Great way to travel for game day weekends. Instead of taking the shorter routes or driving yourself or flying those shorter routes, think about vonlane.com. All right, quick question, CJ, before we get to the last couple of super chats here. Off-season workouts officially started for the Longhorns. There's summer workouts starting today, right? So does that mean everybody officially is reported to be, everybody on the roster has reported for June 1st?
Yeah, there's about 95% of the team on campus. There's still a couple guys that had graduation at home. They're coming in. They'll be on campus Tuesday or Wednesday to join the team. But there was a big meeting Sunday evening to kind of lay out the landscape. Rod, you've gone through this a couple times. You know, those meetings basically lay the law of what summer conditioning will look like. You know, you're here at this time. You're here at this many days. Come ready to work, because this is where a lot of the work needs to be done. You see here, this is from the second morning session, which included a lot of the skilled players. You see Ryan Niblett, Dalen McCutcheon on the right, Arch Manning on the left. There's two sessions that I was aware of. The trench players at 6 a.m., and then obviously the skills and quarterbacks at 8 a.m. or around that time this morning. But they got back to work this morning. It sounds like they'll be working each and every day moving forward for the rest of the summer. So, or at least until the month of July, where you get another break and kind of prepare for fall camp. But I'm excited. It's fun to see these guys back on campus after a month off.
Yeah,
getting ready a little bit closer to the season.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it. What are we, 96 days away officially, something like that? I like that number. All right, last super chat of the evening from, we got a couple more. This one, second to last. Rocky P, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it very much. Hope you're doing well. Good to hear from you. He says, reading the Sorsby updates today, and they're clearly selling all their morals. Raider Rash has mutated to now make Texas Tech classless. Sad days. Yeah, like I said, I don't think any moral or ethical obligations are going to influence them. They clearly have a mission. They believe that any publicity is good publicity, and they're willing to, like I said, kind of sell their soul to try to get Brendan Sorsby any type of eligibility at all, no matter what it is. Even though it's clear now, he bet on his own team, and even down there in Tech, with Tech, he's still trying to place bets. I mean, it's ugly, man. It's ugly.
It would be disgusting if the NCAA allowed him to play football.
No,
it would be. It would set such a nasty precedent for folks moving forward that, hey, you can get away with gambling on your sport, on games that you suited up for. The Tech defense that, he wasn't on the field, he didn't actually impact or throw games. To hell with that. That is disgusting. There's one cardinal sin in all of sports. Throwing games, betting on games, putting money on your team or any game that you are a part of is disgusting. And it has no room for any sort of leeway, in my opinion. I will say this. A lot of folks believed coming out of this that the Sorsby defense actually had a better argument than what the NCAA put up. I don't know if that's really a surprise to anybody. But additionally, the NCAA attorney Taylor Askew said the whole case rises on him being such a serial violator of the rules that it somehow creates some exception to the consequences. That doesn't make any sense, end quote. And it's absolutely correct, right? Because you're starting to see more and more of what is it? The number of bets, the amount bet.
Yeah.
3 different locations in which he was at an institution and continued to bet.
Yeah.
There were 7 different meetings of the NCAA coming in saying, hey, Texas Tech, this gambling thing, not good. Don't participate, right? They had 7 different meetings, 7 different classes throughout the spring in which every member on the Tech team, every member of the Tech athletic department sat down and said, we know. And Sorsby was right there next to him saying, I know too. And it didn't matter. He was still moving money to family members and friends out of state to make sure that he could continue to place bets and gamble. That is a blatant disregard to the rules and has no place in college football. If he plays at all in 2026, that would be disgusting to the sport of college football.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Well said. All right. Thank you for the super chat. Says you can have a bunch of 19-year-old 5-stars with potential or a bunch of 24-year-old 3-stars who are locked in. That angle will change soon. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I wonder, Texas still wants, I think, the heart and soul of their program to be traditional recruiting. But there's no doubt they have stepped up. Like I said, last year, I think it was like 17% Texas starts were by transfers. This year, that's probably going to be a third of your starts or more will be by transfers. So I think it's just a modern era. Everybody's going to be a little bit different in that regard. But, in the NFL, we just talked about the trade for Myles Garrett, Jared Verse, Myles Garrett going to the Rams. Think about the Rams strategy for talent acquisition.
Yeah.
In picks.
It was the Patriots too. Patriots used that for decades.
Yeah, like I don't want. Yeah, exactly. Because the Patriots were picking really low in the first round, so they actually like second round picks more than like first round picks. Because Belichick always figured half the teams in the first round will screw it up. So our first round talent will drop to me in the second round, and only half the guaranteed money. It only costs you half the guaranteed money in the second round compared to the first. But to that point, that's why the Rams they don't believe in bringing a rookie in to develop them, and then I got to pay him twice. Got to pay him for the rookie contract, and then I got to pay him for being a top of the line player on the second contract. The Rams figured I'm bringing in like a transfer portal, proven talent, proven commodity, a guy I know is going to be a difference maker, and I've seen him do it before. He's already, like I said, on the record for being one of the best players at their position in the league. That's what the Rams believe in, and you've seen it since Sean McVay's come in there. That's what they do. They don't want necessarily they build through the draft, but they want to finish up like the top of their roster. Their top guys are usually acquisitions via trades or acquisitions via free agency.
Yep.
How they work. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. All right. Thank you. All right. We appreciate that. Thank you, CJ. Great stuff as always. Thank you to Matthew behind the scenes. Nobody does it better than Matthew. He's the real MVP. We appreciate Stevie Lee coming on as well. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Von Lane. Thank you to Hardgrove Roofing, and thank you to Prize Picks. We'll be back tomorrow. Also, you'll have Coffee and Football bright and early tomorrow morning, 8:15 with Bobby and Jerry. And also, you'll have our Tuesday night live stream. That'll be Jeff and CJ. That'll be promptly at 7 p.m. for CJ. Oh, thank you very much, Matthew. See, that's why he's the best in the business. Right now, you won't find a better deal than $3 for 3 months of the best Texas football coverage on the market. In the market, nobody does it better than our team. We keep adding, speaking of transfer portal acquisitions, adding more and more stars to the team. In addition to CJ and Jerry and Bobby, and now Jeff, and now Blake Monroe, and now they got my man Jordan Scruggs in there as well. So it is a fantastic team, and now you can check it out for pennies on the dollar. If you're a ball on the budget, you can't miss this. $3 for 3 months of coverage at OwenTexasFootball.com. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you guys out there for watching and listening. Thank you for the super chats as well. For CJ and for Matthew and for Stevie Lee, I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Until next time, hook 'em horns.
Welcome.